Hi, I'm Tammy. This is Yoga with Tammy. Welcome. Today we're going to do just a nice gentle stretch focusing on the hips and the pelvis area. These areas can get really tight, even painful or jammed, and we always want to be gentle with ourselves when we try to encourage movement in the body. So we're just going to do some nice movements to help us in that direction. First, let's stand. You can keep your feet hip width apart or bring them together, whichever feels best for you, because we're going to close our eyes now and balance. So it might actually be easier to keep your feet spread apart. And just close your eyes. And this may feel a little bit silly to you, but just say a quick thank you to yourself for being here for the practice. But also say a quick thank you to your body for being here with you, and for allowing you any of the movements that you have. The fact that you're standing, that you can make any movements. If you think about it, it's really quite miraculous. So just take a quick moment, take a couple of deep breaths, and just really thank your body for being here today. Breathing in through the nostrils and breathing out through the mouth. Notice the strength of your legs. Notice your head stacked over your shoulders, your neck stacked over your pelvis. Nice straight body, maybe a little slight bend in the knees so that you're not putting any pressure on your knees, allowing the quad muscles to become just a little bit activated as we stand here. Just thanking every part of your body for working all together so that you can stand like this. Deep breath in through the nose. And deep breath out of the mouth. See if you can take one deep breath where you're breathing in for, let's say, 4 counts, and then breathing out the same number of counts. So breathing in, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then breathing out, 1, 2, 3, 4. Great, just do that again. Let's do that 2 more times on your own. Great. You might notice you already feel a little bit more relaxed, a little bit like you've left the rest of your thoughts and your stuff, off the mat. And as we continue to go inward and focus on our movements, let's open our eyes and bring our hands to the hips. Now we want to make just some very subtle movements to become aware of the hip and pelvis area. So let's first see if we can move ever so slightly forward on the feet. You're not lifting your heels from the ground, but it's almost like you're about to. Moving forward and then moving back, putting the weight on the heels. Now we're keeping our hips and pelvis steady here, so we're just using our leg strength and our intention to move slightly forward, slightly back. It's not so easy. And then a little bit from side to the left, and then to the right. Feeling your toes stretch forward, awareness and activation on the bottom of the feet, something we don't always think about so much. Side to side. And now let's go side to side, continue, but this time add a bit of movement to the pelvis. So we're putting a little more intention into our hip area as we go side to side. And working on any kinks. You might have something going on in your lower back, your sacrum, your pelvis, your hip joint. Just see how that feels, side to side. Very gentle, staying a little bit longer if something feels a little stuck. And anywhere you feel stuck, you might want to take a deep breath in. And then a nice deep breath out, focusing the awareness of that out breath into the area that feels stuck, like it's a lubricant for that area. Okay, great. And now we'll try to do some circular motions. So we can start going clockwise. And we're trying to move only the hip and pelvis area, nothing else, not the legs so much, not the middle or upper back or shoulders, just a slight clockwork direction motion of the hips and the pelvis, noticing if your bum muscles are contracting, and it's okay if they do, but just be aware of how your body is making this movement. And again, anywhere that might feel a little bit stuck or stiff, just stay there a little bit longer. You can explore taking a couple of deep breaths there. It's really what feels good for you. It's not as important to follow along exact step by step, but to let your body be the guide. And let's go in the other direction. Slight movements of the pelvis area. This is the very center of your body, so it takes a lot of weight and it takes a lot of brunt in our day-to-day life. So it's really nice to loosen it and just give it this small, gentle attention, this moment in the day. It's going to be very thankful for you. Okay, now let's make the movement a little bit bigger. So we're aiming to get more of the body active and involved as we make these clockwork direction motions. So a circle out, and then what we're doing is we're breathing in as we come forward, and then breathing out as we go back. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. You can breathe in and out through the nostrils if that's comfortable for you. Okay, we come to center and we'll go in the other direction. So it doesn't have to be a huge, exaggerated movement. Just a nice rounded motion, getting the pelvis and the hips nice and loose. Breathing back, inhaling in and out. Just a couple more times. Okay, great. Let's bring our feet together if you can. You can always leave your feet hip-width apart if you need to. And let's bring our shoulders up and down to the heart. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, down to the heart. One more time. Inhale up, loosening the shoulders, keeping the pelvis straight. Stretch up here. You even want to look up maybe if you can, and just feel the whole spine stretching. And exhale down to the heart. And let's bring our hands down. We're going to bring one arm, you could follow me, or you can do your left arm like I am. Bring it up on an inhale. And on the exhale, you want to slide down, letting the arm fall over your head and stretching the whole left body, the whole side of the body where your arm is up, and just letting the other arm dangle. Take a couple of deep breaths here. Try not to move forward or back, so you can have your arm anywhere as long as the whole side body is straight. And take a couple of deep breaths, feeling that really nice deep stretch. And on an exhale, come back down. Inhale the other arm up. And we'll do the same. So stretching over the head, keep making sure that we're keeping our whole side body straight and aligned. Letting the other hand drop, no pressure or tension at all. And a couple of deep breaths here. And on an out breath, bring the arm down. Okay, great. Let's bring our hands to the hips. And now we're going to start to do some leg strengthening, also balance. So if you need a chair, you might want to go pause the video and grab a chair, just if you might need one to hold on to briefly. If not, You're allowed to fall over too, that's okay. Or we can just do our best. So let's lift up the right leg until the knee is parallel with the hips. And just, if you can, do some ankle rolls. And we're trying here not to tip over or try to do anything to compensate. We're trying to keep a really nice integrity and straightness here in the pelvis. So it's really good to have your hands on your hips here to almost feel exactly where the balance lies, and try to keep that balance and a really strong supporting leg as you lift up. And just do some ankle rolls in both directions. Okay, great. And lower the leg and bring up the other leg, same thing. It might feel a little different. It might feel harder or easier to balance or to keep the bottom leg straight. But again, we're not rotating. We're not trying to compensate. We're just trying to keep a nice straight leg. This is a great foundation for any balance pose. And lift the knee as high as you can, but no higher than your pelvis area. And just start to do some ankle rolls. Excellent. Okay, now's when you might want to grab a chair. And it's going to be just a little bit of a variation of what we've just done. So we're going to lift up the right leg and hold onto it here. And you can hold, I just fell too, talking and moving at the same time. So lifting up on an inhale, and then you can just stay here, or on an exhale, bring your hand to the inside of your knee and try to widen here. It's a great stretch for the inner hip. And of course, a great balancing position. So coming back to center on an exhale. One more time. So we've inhaled. Exhale out. And then inhale. You've inhaled, exhale back to center. Inhale. And exhale down. Excellent. We'll try the other side. So lifting up to just about the pelvis area, a little higher, it doesn't matter. Take a deep breath. Inhale, then on the exhale, if you can, try to widen and bring out the knee towards the back of your mat. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. You might find on every exhale it gets a little easier. So inhale, exhale, and down. Very good. Take a deep breath, shake it out. And we'll do one more balance and leg pose from standing. So put your hands on your hips again. And this time we're going to bring up the right knee all the way up to pelvis area and take an inhale. And then on an exhale, just see if you can bring your leg out just as high as you can. It doesn't matter. And then working with the breath, just slowly bring the leg back and forth and down. And then see if you can bring the same leg back without tipping over, keeping a nice firm supporting leg. And just play around a little bit. Just go back and forth. Noticing the glute area becoming very active. One more time. And down. Again, we can shake it out here. It's a great strength. These are great strengthening exercises for the legs in addition to loosening everything up. So bring up the left leg, the left knee, and then again, working with the breath, exhale the foot straight. Inhale, exhale. And just see You don't want to put too much strain on your knee, definitely not on the hip here. So you want to strengthen the quads, which allows yourself to go taller and not put too much weight on the hips. Okay, great. And now again here, we'll bring the same leg back. And just play a little bit. See if you can balance as you go front and back, keeping the pelvic girdle, the pelvic line really straight and even, not tipping over. Great strengthening exercise for the whole pelvic girdle. One more time. And back. Very good. Shake it out. In fact, you might even want to bounce a little bit. Anything that needs to let go. You've done a great job here. So now we're going to come down into tabletop position. So we're going to have our knees hip width apart and the knees directly under the hips. You can bring your feet down, the tops of your feet to the mat. Your hands clawing down to the ground, so strong active fingertips and directly under your shoulders. And from here, we're going to do cat-cow. So on an inhale, arch up without straining or crunching the neck. Look up as much as you can. It's almost like you're extending from the nose and coming up, so you're not just reaching the head back, which will hurt the neck, but keeping a nice curve in the spine. And then exhale, arch, bringing your chin to chest. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down, arching, full stretch in the back body. If you'd like here, and you can come down into a child's pose. You can always put a cushion between your legs here to make it a bit easier. And just stretch out. You can always keep doing cat-cow and just stretch out the arms as much as you can. Lower your head. A really nice surrender pose, and also allowing the energy of the earth and the ground to come into your body and strengthen it. It's like asking the earth to be here with us in our efforts to stay grounded. Deep breath. Okay, great. And then we'll come back into cat-cow, into a tabletop, sorry. And now from here, we want to bring our right leg back. So we're trying not to move our left hip or pelvis to the side or to swerve too much. Just keeping a very steady pelvis. Bring the right foot back straight, and then with your toes on the ground. And you want to have almost like someone's pulling the top of your head. So you're going forward with the front body and pressing back. You're pulling your hip joint out of your lower back with the back body. So we have a full body stretch here. And just take a couple of breaths. Keeping aware of the stretch in both directions. And now, let's just lift up. Let's see if we can lift up the foot just a couple of inches off the mat. And just take a deep breath. And lower it. And lower the knee. Okay, we'll do the other side. So bringing the left leg back so that we're pulling forward and feeling a straight line from the tail of the spine all the way to the top of the head. And meanwhile, pulling back with the left leg, keeping the leg, almost pulling the socket out, stretching as much as you can without leaning. So keeping a nice straight pelvis. And just take a couple of breaths here. Stretching, active quads. And then try to lift this foot off the ground, just a couple of inches. and back. Okay, excellent. So now we're going to just do the same thing and add a little bit here. So bring back the right foot again, same as before. And then we're going to, on an inhale, lift up the foot, lift up the leg, straight leg, on an inhale. And on an exhale, see if you can bring your knees through and reaching towards your nose. Again, keeping the left hip straight. Inhale, foot back and raised, and exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee to nose. And drop the leg. Great. We'll do the other side. So left foot back like before, and then raising the foot. Inhale. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, keeping the pelvis straight and aligned. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, stretch. Exhale, knee to nose. And down. Excellent. Okay, now before we get to lie down flat on our back, let's try one more thing. We're going to try a plank. So bring your hands just a little bit forward. And then reach up by digging your toes into the mat, reaching up into a plank pose. So we're not kind of bending, we're not stretching we're keeping a flat back, so we're not putting any strain on the lower back. Just take 2 deep breaths here. Pushing up with the arms, lifting with the whole back body. And knees down. Excellent. Now we're going to come straight through sitting and onto your back. Lying flat with your feet close to your bum, your buttocks, about hip width apart. And you want your palms flat down against the mat. And from here, we're going to just 3 times lift up the hips. So on an inhale, lift up. And exhale, down. Notice how following your breath makes the movement so much more fluid and helps to really lengthen and expand rather than contract and cramp the body. Inhale up. Exhale down. One more time. So inhale up. And hold for 1 breath. And exhale down. Okay, great. Now just for one last hip stretch, today we're going to, before the very last one, we're going to lift up the right ankle and cross it over the left knee. And you want to flex your foot to protect your knee here. Now you can just stay here, or if you want to make the stretch deeper, you take your hands and you can bring them either to the inside of your back leg or around the entire leg against the shin, and just pull this leg towards you. Always working with the breath. Notice the stretch. Allow yourself to stretch, but try not to go beyond your edge. We don't want any injuries. You might want to close your eyes and just work with the breath, feeling the stretch. Okay, great. Release. And let's do the other side. So bringing the left foot, the left ankle over the right knee, flexing the foot, and then bringing your hand wherever is comfortable as you bring your leg towards your chest. This side will likely feel different than the other, so be aware of that. And just work with finding your edge and not going past it. Just encouraging your body with the breath to gently go as far as it can. And you'll find that it will start going a little bit more and more with practice. Okay, excellent. Now from here, If you're able, we can always just come straight into Shavasana or corpse pose, or we can bring the feet back towards the buttocks, bring your soles of your feet together, and allow your legs to drop. If you want to do this position and it's a little bit uncomfortable, you can always bring some cushions to support your knees. This is, of course, a huge inner hip stretch and also just a very relaxing and humbling position down towards the earth. And you can bring one hand to the chest, one on your navel, or you can keep your hands on your thighs, whatever feels comfortable for you. And as we wind down, just again, close your eyes if you'd like. Take some gentle breaths. Thank yourself for doing this really, really nice stretch for your hips and pelvis today. And also you might want to visualize and just picture that your whole body's filled with light. You can pretend there's nothing else inside your body, just the shape of your body with light, this shiny, healthy, radiant light. And if you can picture this really nice light, and you have any areas of tension or pain in your body, picture focusing all that light and bringing it to that area, and just taking some deep breaths, imagining this white light clearing this space and making it full of vibrancy and health. You can stay in this position as long as you'd like, as long as it's comfortable for you. Or you can even stretch out into the full Shavasana or corpse pose and just relax for as long as you'd like. Or you can get up and cross your legs. Join me in bringing your hands together at the heart. And thank you so much for being here with me for this practice. I hope it was a benefit. Let me know if you can feel any benefits or if you have any comments about the practice. Thank you so much. Namaste.